Hello and welcome. This is Michael from MS Forex Graduates, and today I want to make a video about supply and demand and how it relates to support and resistance. So first of all, in dealing with support and resistance with supply and demand, you need to be able to plot both your support and resistance lines and your supply and demand zones. So I'm going to plot all of the latest supply and demand zones that I can spot on this hourly time frame, and levels that are close together I'm going to put them in one color, and levels that are far apart I'm going to put them in different colors. So as a start, I have identified this as a demand zone because, as you can see, price was just consolidating around this area, and there were a lot of buyers that came into this pair, AUDNZD, and they drove the price upward. So around here is the first imbalance. So I'm going to take this candlestick as it is the last one of this consolidation before price moved aggressively upwards. And as it moved upwards, it retraced for a little bit, but it found buying pressure again. So we can also look at this level here after it went all the way up, retraced and went past that level, and it is now meeting with some resistance at the top. Okay, so in this retracement we found buying pressure again here. So there is good momentum and there is an aggressive impulsive buying going on here. So I can add in, just through this candle's body, another demand level where there was a lot of buying pressure. And as you can see, as soon as price went into that level again, it went up. It tried to break all the way past, but now you have a lot of buyers here, you have a lot of buyers here, and that eventually drove the price up as well. So let us then look for more levels that we can look at and interpret. So in looking for more zones and more levels, I'm just going to zoom out a little so that I can see the chart, but not so much so that I cannot see whole candlesticks, because I'm interested in the candlesticks. So here we have small candlestick followed by huge momentum, and there again we have good momentum there. So we're going to just go and look for the same sort of imbalances somewhere else on our charts. A level again like this one here, which I will put in a different color because then it is nothing like what we have at the bottom. What we have at the bottom is a demand zone where there's a lot of buying. What I'm highlighting now is a supply zone where there's a lot of selling. So as you can see, price came up from that swing high all the way down here, but it stalled before continuing, retracing and continuing going down. But as you can see, there was a lot of selling pressure there, a stall and more selling pressure. When it retraced back to the zone, there was selling pressure again. So I'm interested in this level as well for that reason. And the one on top is just as good, if not even better. So here we have price coming again from that swing high, going all the way down, but this by selling pressure here, the momentum of this candle is what tells us again that at this zone there is a lot of selling pressure. So there's supply here, there's supply here, there's demand here, and there's demand there. Okay, so as you can see also, the same buying that is occurring here is the same type of buying that occurred here. It is not so much as what we see here at the bottom, but there is buying pressure here repeatedly. So going back, as we spoke about that swing high, just going to plot it in as well, just perhaps using the body, or it's a small, relatively small candle, so I can put all of it as one zone. So again, that now we're looking at it as a supply zone. And there we go. So these are currently just the only ones we have that are the latest ones. So as we proceed to go back on our chart and try to look at what has been happening with price around the levels that we have just put in, we start to see that here around that supply zone there was a bounce of price. So it used this as support, and there it was resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, resistance, support. Before it was resistance. So this is where change of polarity happens as well. Change of polarity is when a level changes from being support to being resistance, or from being resistance to being support. It can be changing from being supply to demand, or from demand to supply as well. So as you can see, even going further back, the same demand level that we saw now has also been a demand level before. And by now you must be asking, but how far back can we go? Let us just go into a daily chart and look at these levels. So for instance, we drew our zones around here in this month, but also when you look at December in 2018, there was still a lot of buying pressure around here. So the same behavior can be seen. When we go further up, the swing high that we have taken to be our zone was resistance around here, but price was coming on top of it. So it was support before that, support, resistance, but as you can see, around the same levels that were drawn on an hourly chart, price respects those levels. So let's just not waste time and go into a weekly chart. And on a weekly chart, let's go back. So around the same demand zone, we have a lot of buying. A lot of buying around the same zone as well. And price always seems to respect the same zones. Again there. This is already 2014 January, but the same levels kept on being respected. So if we go as far back as the platform will allow me to go, we can see a bounce here in 2008 in September. Again, buying pressure in 2005 around the same level that we have drawn in as a demand zone, looking at only the latest price action. And as you can see, price keeps on bouncing around these levels. So these are becoming what we call pivot points, where price turns around as well. So they can also be points of inflection if you do not have any price action to the left and to the right, because then you have a swing low here, price going all the way up to make a swing high. So there's not a lot of price action to the left or to the right. So that's a point of inflection. It's a turning point for the pair or for the currencies. It is unlike just a reversal, because a reversal might have a lot of action going on around it. You might have a downtrend here on a weekly time frame, you might have a downtrend here, some consolidation, and an uptrend there. But you see, because of the price action around here, there is no point of inflection here. So let's just go back to the very latest price action and relook at those levels and how they were drawn on. So this one was just drawn on because it's the last small candle of the consolidation before the aggressive move up. We have retracement here, we have another small body around here before good buying momentum there, and as we can see, that happened again. The other level was drawn here after we had some selling pressure and a stall and selling pressure again. So I drew in that level there on that candlestick. This one was a natural choice because it is the last small one, and it's also a doji just before there was a lot of selling pressure. And that one also a natural choice because it is a swing high. There's nothing to the left and there's nothing to the right, so this is a good point of inflection. So looking at these and where price is now, price right now is close to this demand zone here, so we expect a lot of buying to occur, but as soon as it reaches that top level, again there should be sellers there, but it can't stay in between these two zones indefinitely, so it will have to break to the upside or to the downside. But as it breaks to the downside, there's a lot of buying pressure here, so it is more likely that it has to go up past this one and maybe go and test that one there. But even when zones get violated, you still keep them on your chart, because as you have seen, price has a way of respecting them when it gets back to them again. So we can break off here and start to use this as our demand, and break off there, start to use that as our demand, because as you can see, price is coming from a long way up and it is now in a very good demand zone. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps you on your Forex journey. For more information, you can go to msforexgraduates.co.za and you will find one of our friendly staff who can help you out with whatever you need that is Forex related. Thank you.